People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the Mets. Call it news with a buzz. Now, if you needed any more example to tell that Jamaica is not only the most dangerous place on planet Earth, or one of the most, as it pertains to crime and violence, we have to include these maniacs on the road, specifically minibus man, taxi man, or well, just the average driver in a Jamaica. Jamaica is definitely Bellevue Central. Jamaica is definitely one of those movie channels. We can expect to see just about anything pop off at any time, any day, anywhere. And this is our next example. The video that you saw at the start of this is of a minibus man that was trying to avoid the po-po. You know that when it comes to the po-po and minibus or taxi man, them live like puss and dog. Them cannot take each other. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Or even when the cat is there, the mice is going to try to run for their life. They are going to try to flee from any sorts of tickets. This is an example. You see this man trying to run from the po-po, and what did he do? He pretty much almost kill off a couple of people. Almost, well, him never almost, he mash up somebody's stall. So therefore, this lady that is out there trying to provide for herself and her family almost lose her life, lose all her goods. Do you think that this man is going to go back and pay for this? However, the question that we have to ask is that, why is it that these people, I am sure if you check this man or check anybody that is creating all sorts of chaos on the road, them have hundreds, tens or thousands of tickets. However, they are allowed to go back because the ticketing system is so woefully inept. And even worse, the po-po that are supposed to be monitoring it, they are taking bribe. So therefore, they are willing to turn a blind eye. And then people are asked, how is it that in excess of almost 500 people lose their life annually in a Jamaica? However, they allow these same people to go back on the road and do the same old thing. So what it tells you, money, because they are always rushing, them always at speed. And then it comes to the po-po again, it is because of money, because them licky. If you notice, most of these main thoroughfares in a Jamaica, you see that there's a median in the road, some big concrete barrier. The reason why they put these up, it is not to inconvenience you from crossing the road. It is because when they were not there, these taximen or minibus men, they were driving on the opposite side of the road. So therefore, they might drive on the side in which people are coming down, and that is why they had so many head-on collisions. However, until these people, meaning the relevant authority and the po-po, get their act together, this is always going to happen. And like I said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called There Goes the Neighborhood. I am speaking about the criminal elements in some of those hot spots in Jamaica, specifically Montego Bay, St. James in this case, that relocate, transplant from that hot spot and go to some communities that were once tranquil. Speaking St. Elizabeth to be specific. On Wednesday night at about 9 p.m., the po-po doing their routine walkabout, drive about, they heard some loud EXPLOSIONS. Hear from a shout that there was some sort of H00T out involving a vaccine. The po-po them say, alright, we are going to set up some sort of roadblock in a Magati, like me say, this are in a St. Elizabeth's. When them set up the roadblock, intercept the vaccine. When them look upon the vaccine was riddled, look like some sorts of strainer. When them check the vehicle, check the man them identification, both men from a Montego Bay, St. James address. Them find a toll in the vehicle. A couple of hours later, a man went in the hospital in a Black River, I think. He had all sorts of H00T wounds on his body. They looking at the vehicle and them realized that there was all sorts of BLOOD splatter. So therefore they brought them in a Black River, the two that they held, to the MID, Major Investigative Division, and they are questioning them. They are going to be charged for this fire piece. They are going to be charged for this SHOOTING. And also the man that turned up at the hospital, he is held under power custody. That means them handcuff him pan the bed. Hopefully he not jump through some sorts of window. Hopefully he does not get some sorts of early furlough from one of those popo. Hopefully. I am going to let one of the top cops from the era, his name is Mr. Coleridge Minto, explain everything in intricate details, and then I am going to give my piece.
During a search of the vehicle, a 9mm Smith & Wesson pistol with 6 live rounds was found inside the vehicle. 2 men of St. James addresses were also found in the vehicle. The men were taken to the Black River Criminal Investigation Branch, CID, where they were arrested, and investigation continues. And so based on the intel and to ensure that there's public order and safety, we took a decision to restrict public gathering for some events in Balaclava and neighboring communities. It was a decision that was not lightly thought about, but one that was necessary to ensure that the protection of life and property can be maintained, particularly through this time. We continue to increase our presence, to dominate our spaces, and particularly holding our borders to prevent persons from moving across freely on our public thoroughfares.
Now people, you hear what the top cop office say. They heard the explosion. When them go to investigate, set up the roadblock, them buck up on a vehicle, search the vehicle, all sorts of rounds, all sorts of toll in the vehicle. 2 of those men that were in the vehicle, them come from Montego Bay, St. James. The person that turned up at the hospital also from St. James. More than coincidental that they were not a part of the same SHOOT out. Everybody under investigation. Now that is why a place that used to be tranquil, such as St. Elizabeth, is now under a state of public emergency. That is why the relevant authorities said that they are not issuing any type of entertainment permit for any sorts of party, because these scumbag, lowlife, riffraff from out of town, they are coming into town and they are setting up shop, and that is why the MURDER rate and also the robbery and SHOOTING rate has skyrocketed. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, I have to ask the question if some of these lawyers, top lawyers in Jamaica, are miracle workers, are them obia just strong, are them link in the system is very, very strong. I am speaking about lawyers like Peter Champagne, KC King's Counsel, and the way that he seems to always get his clients off all sorts of cases. Now people, I am not sure if this man is as good as advertised or there is something that is very suspicious. I am speaking about a case back in 2020, December to be specific, the 21st, in which a man, Mordecai Buckley, he works or lives in a Riverton City or one of them places in Kingston. It is said that somebody, a man, his name is Denroy Johnson, dropped off a box with what was supposed to be Fosca oats or some sorts of oats. Dropped it off at his business and asked him to go to the airport and ship it to an address that is in Canada. It is said that Mr. Mordecai Buckley was not at his business place at the time when Mr. Denroy dropped off the package. However, the next day or the day that he came, he went straight to the airport, straight to the shipping place, and him drop off the package. That package was intercepted, and Mr. Mordecai Buckley was charged with all sorts of DRUGS charges: possession, delivery, trafficking, conspiracy, you name it, he was fling the whole book. So that was about 3 years ago, December of 2020. The other day, maybe 48 to 24 hours ago, he was released by the judge when his lawyer, Mr. Peter Champagne, filed some sorts of no-case submission saying that he did not know what was in the box. He had no sorts of idea what was in the box. There was no sorts of evidence to say that he had time to examine the box before he actually shipped it off at that place headed for Canada. There was also witnesses from his workplace that said yes, the man dropped off the box, but Mr. Buckley was not here. Mr. Buckley picked up the box and went directly to the airport to ship it off to Canada. The judge then agreed with Mr. Peter Champagne. The no-case submission was agreed upon, and then his client, Mr. Buckley, was released. It is also said that when they held on to Mr. Buckley, he then told them the person that was supposed to deliver the box, or the person that delivered the box, which is Mr. Denroy Johnson. They went and they held Mr. Johnson based on the information that Mr. Buckley gave them. Mr. Buckley goes to court on the 18th of December 2023.
The charges stemmed from a December 21, 2020 incident when a shipment that Mr. Buckley was attempting to export at the Norman Manley International Airport was found to have cocaine concealed in boxes labeled as oats. When arrested, Mr. Buckley told investigators that he was given the package by another man to be shipped to Canada. He then assisted the police by providing information on the man said to have given him the package, which resulted in the arrest of co-accused Delroy Johnson. Crown witnesses gave evidence that Johnson had delivered the sealed boxes of oats to Buckley's employees at a warehouse in Riverton City a couple days prior to December 21. Buckley was not present at the time when the delivery was made, and he did not pick up the boxes until the morning of the shipment. The attorney, in challenging the evidence, argued that there was no evidence that Buckley at any point examined the boxes prior to taking them to the airport. After hearing the submissions, the judge agreed and ordered his release. The case against Mr. Johnson continues and is scheduled for Monday, December 18.
Now people, here's my thing as somebody that travel, as somebody that has shipped stuff on many occasions. Whenever you travel, the first thing them ask you about your luggage. Did anybody ask you to pack any sorts of thing? If you say yes, that means if anything go down, then you can go to court and say yes, my friend or my auntie or my cousin, they give me this to carry. So therefore, if any sorts of unscrupulous stuff is in there, you can blame them. However, when you say no, you pretty much take responsibility for everything that is in your possession or everything that you ship. Don't know if this question was asked by Mr. Buckley, asked of Mr. Buckley when he went to that shipping place. One thing that I do know, had this been any other place other than Jamaica, him will get some time. I have seen many cases, heard of many cases in a court in which people get all sorts of package for carry. Them never know. However, them get time same way. I could and granny. The circumstances are different, but me just say 9 times out of 10 you are going to get some sorts of time, especially when it is cocoa coming from Jamaica and end up in any place in America. So people, I am not doubting the skill set of the lawyer, Mr. Peter Champagne. However, based on information that I have and based on stuff that I've seen in many courts in Jamaica, most of the time it is because of some sorts of misconduct. Most of the time it is because of some sorts of investigator do some sorts of BS. most of the time, me have to scratch my head when I see that the decisions that are made by these judges, especially as it pertains to certain lawyers or attorney, specifically the caliber of the Peter Champagne. People, let me know what you think in the comment section, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.